Hi.
Hey.
Hi, nice to see you.
Yeah, likewise. How you doing?
Good, buddy. Number of phone calls, trillion emails, trying to get information from the dealers that we're trying to source cars from it's dentistry in reverse.
Well, hey, let's just let everyone know what we're going to talk about today.
Okay.
And then I want to banter just for a moment,
Okay.
but not too much. We're talking about trade-in values, right? And we're
Yeah.
going to talk
Why the value of your trade isn't what you want it to be.
and it seemingly never is, and it's never even like close. And the other thing you start to realize the more deals you work on is that the trade-in value at one dealership could be a mile apart from the trade-in value at another dealership when you're looking at buying the same exact car, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do
Like,
you want to know why?
yeah, let's jump in.
Okay, did you want to banter first?
No.
Did you want to lose the audience before we get started or after?
I mean, you and I both look at the analytics, and it's like you can see when it happens. It's like this distinct moment. So answer. Let's give him the answer. Let him leave.
Okay. The reason that can be is there's a number of reasons. One, the dealer that's way lower than the other dealer might just be trying to steal the trade.
Oh, like they just want the used car.
They want the used car, and they want it at a really low price so that they can make a bigger profit retailing that used car later.
Okay.
So they might be saying to themselves, we're going to try and steal it, where the other dealer is saying, we're going to give you what the actual cash value of the car is, and we're not trying to play the steal game. And the other reason that there could be a difference is because every dealer has different needs for types of used cars, and the car that it was worth more at one dealer and less at another could be because the dealer that wants to put less in it has never done well with those types of vehicles on their pre-owned lot. So a really finite, microscopic look at their market area, it says, well, no, we don't want that. Though we've never done well with that type of car, so if we're going to trade it, we have to trade it really right. It costs some car deals. But let's get back to the beginning.
Okay.
And the beginning is, why is it that a customer's trade-in is never worth what they think it is?
Yeah.
And there's any number of factors. And the main factor is that when a dealership looks at a car, they take into consideration what these vehicles have been selling for at the auctions. They look at things like Manheim Market Report to get a sense of what they sold for at the sale with similar miles and similar equipment in the last week. Okay. Now the customer looks at the car and they say, well, it's my car. I know how I've taken care of it, and I've done my research, and Kelley Blue Book says it should be worth this or that.
Yeah.
Here's the difference. A customer looks at it through sentimental eyes. Okay. They assign a certain sentimental value to the vehicle, and to a dealership, it's metal.
Yeah.
Okay. There's nothing sentimental about it. It's a vehicle to attain a future profit.
Yeah.
Okay. So I can't turn around, or a dealer couldn't turn around and go to somebody that's looking at the car after it's been traded and it's on the lot as a retail piece and go, well, the reason it's worth more is because, well, that belonged to Joe Smith before.
Yeah. No, I understand that.
Yeah. Nobody's paying extra because, well, it was Joe Smith's car. They're paying what it's worth based on what others in the area are paying for it. This is the concept that most customers don't get, and that is that the customer and the dealership has the same exact goal.
Yeah.
The customer's goal is to buy the new car, whatever car it is, whether it be a new or pre-owned car, to buy it as inexpensively as they can.
Yeah.
The dealership's goal is to buy the customer's trade-in, well, as inexpensively as they can. Everybody has the same exact goal. It's just finding some common ground, some movement, some compromise that allows the transaction to take place. But we all had the same goal. You know, when you trade your car, you want the most you can get.
Of course, yeah. But let me ask you a question, because I think it's what's going through my head. And I imagine it's what's going through someone who's watching this video.
Yeah.
You know, why when I look up my Kelley Blue Book value, why then when I go and I'm looking at that deal sheet,
do they offer you less?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll explain that. Because when they go to retail your car, they have to, one, do a state inspection in whatever state they're going to sell it in.
Sure.
They have to do the reconditioning to bring it up to the standards as required by the state, the safety standards, and any other reconditioning that it might take to make the car a true retail merchandise. And you heard me say the other day that the typical reconditioning expense on most used cars is somewhere between $1,500 and $2,000. Now, I know every customer is thinking, well, my car is not going to need $1,500 to $2,000. It may be so in your world. In a dealership's world, where the service department gets involved, and the sales department is the service department's biggest customer, and the only place the sales department's allowed to take their cars to be serviced is, well, their service department.
Yeah.
The service department feels obligated to help their bottom line by finding as many things wrong with that used car as they possibly can. And so when a car gets reconditioned at most new car dealerships, it really does get reconditioned to a standard that most customers would never do on their own.
And so I actually appreciate you bringing that up. I've got quite a few thoughts going through my head. One is I've had quite a few people ask me, what's the difference between buying a used car at a franchise dealership versus one of those, you know, pay here, buy here type lots that you see?
Okay.
And I imagine that, you know, that $1,500 to $2,000 reconditioning cost plays into that. Yes. And the other, maybe it's more of a statement that I want to know is true or false is, so should I look at my Kelley Blue Book value and subtract $2,000, and that's what I should anticipate that the dealership's going to offer me?
You can look at Kelley Blue Book value.
Yeah.
And you can figure that it's going to be less than Kelley Blue Book value because of reconditioning, because the dealer always has to look at reconditioning. Sure. And if they look at the car as something that they're not going to retail, then what they're looking at is, well, what's this car going to bring us once we take it to the auction? How much can we sell it for there? So let's say Kelley Blue Book says your car should be worth $15,000.
Yeah.
Okay. The dealer says, well, I'll give you $13,000. Okay. And they're thinking that's because they're going to have to take it to the auction to dispose of the car. And at the auction, you know, they're bringing like, I don't know, $13,500, $13,750. So why are they giving you less than the auction values? Because A, it costs money to take the car to the auction. You have to register the car at the auction. You have to pay for the privilege of being able to put the car in the auction. Yeah. There's certain reconditioning costs involved even in wholesaling a car like that.
Understood.
Detailing it, things like that. So, and they're not taking it to the sale with the hopes of just breaking even. Yeah. They would like to make a few dollars if they can. Not a lot, because truth be told, dealers shouldn't make a lot of wholesale profit, because if they are, then they're missing car deals. But that's a story for another video. Sure. But they're taking it to the sale to hopefully make a couple dollars if they can, not a lot, but a couple. Yep. And so that's why you're always going to be offered less than what Kelley Blue Book suggests. And Kelley Blue Book will suggest things like Kelley Blue Book Retail, Kelley Blue Book Private Party, Kelley Blue Book Wholesale. So there can be any number of quotes from Kelley Blue Book. The one that dealers are looking at the most are wholesale and less than, because they've got to bring it in for less than wholesale.
And then I guess, you know, the follow-up question there is, should you be trading your car in? Should you be doing private sale? Should you be going to CarMax and getting an appraisal there? And you've taught me some really interesting things here around sales tax basis. You know, yes. Will the trade-in affect the sales tax in your state? Because if it does, then you might actually take less on a trade-in than you would, you know, at a private party sale, and also less headache.
Now, for instance, I've since found out that California does not give you any break for trading in a car. The tax is based on the selling price, regardless of you trading in your car, which means that the good folks in the state of California are double dipping when it comes to forcing people to pay sales tax twice on the same vehicle.
Yep.
They're not getting any credit for having paid it once when they go to trade it in. Other states do give you.
I just got a new client that's in North Dakota, our first North Dakota client, which I am very excited about.
Yes.
And I have no clue. I have to go do a bunch of research because I got no clue what if a trade-in will affect the tax basis there. And also, we might not be finding the car that he wants in North Dakota. We might be finding the car in Wisconsin or in Minnesota. So what impact does that have? And it comes back though. I mean, he has a trade-in. So what should you do? Should you private party sale? Should you trade in? And then the other thing that I've noticed, and your comment here would be, I think, valuable to our audience, is when you're negotiating a car deal. Let's say you're working 2 dealerships and you've got a trade-in.
Yes.
You will see, and I've seen this already, you will see one pricing breakout that has your trade valued at $10,000 and your sale price at, $30,000. And then the other breakout will have your trade valued at $7,500 and the sale price at $28,000.
$27,500.
Exactly. And it's
and that's because what you want to find out is, and this is where people make a mistake, is you don't want to know what the trade allowance is. You want to know what the trade's actual cash value is to the dealership. In other words, what would they write you a check for your car? Work the selling price of whatever car you're buying first, establish that, then work the value of the trade. Yeah. A trade allowance is just that, a trade allowance. You can adjust taking money from the top, from the MSRP or wherever, and throw that into the trade allowance to inflate the trade allowance, or you can deal with actual cash value. Now, one of the things that I always did, and at the dealerships that I worked at, is we told people what the ACV, actual cash value of your trade-in is. Yeah. You're not going to like hearing the number. You're just not. Nobody ever does. I can tell you in 43 years, not once did I ever present a trade-in value to the customer, and the customer said, "Really? You're giving me that much? Oh my God." That never happens, okay? Nobody's ever gotten enough for their trade. So part of it's educational and letting them know the difference between a trade allowance and a trade actual cash value. Sure. And the actual cash value is what somebody's willing to stroke a check for.
Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, not to throw any banter in here, but is that perhaps the jersey of maybe the second greatest wide receiver in NFL history?
I think you need to revise your statement.
Well, I think Jerry Rice would have a problem with that, but Larry Rice, yeah.
Larry Rice watches this video.
Yeah,
that would be incredible.
Well, and if he does, please leave a comment.
And Jerry, please leave, because I, for one.
Yeah, I think you should turn around real quick and just show people what that says on the back of that jersey. Would that be Larry Fitzgerald of the Arizona Cardinals?
I mean, okay, so I went to the University of Pittsburgh.
Yes.
For 1 year.
So did he. And he didn't graduate.
I didn't graduate. He didn't graduate.
Yeah.
He doesn't think it's a game. He takes it takes it professionally. I don't think this is a game. I take it, every day. I'm drinking straight out of your mug. I don't play around. This is you kind of look like Bruce Arians, who used to be Larry Fitzgerald's coach. There's a lot of parallels here.
Yes.
And I think, some might even say that you're kind of like the Kurt Warner of the car business. You can take a team to the Super Bowl, but you can't quite win it. But that's still pretty good.
Oh, he won one.
Well, not with the Cardinals.
The Cardinals. Okay. Oh, I thought you meant maybe I started as a grocery store bag boy.
I thought you did. It's similar.
Well, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I did recall somebody once telling me I was trainable.
You are very trainable, and you train me very well.
Yeah, and I didn't take that poorly.
I adore Larry Fitzgerald. Great human being. But nonetheless, trade-in values.
Yes.
You're never going to be happy with what you get from the dealership.
Never.
You really should be talking to them about the actual cash value of your car.
Yes.
And you need to be weary of where things are being manipulated in the actual out the door price.
Yes. Here's if you want to negotiate the car deal and you have your trade and you don't want to negotiate the selling price first, then the only number that matters is how much and my car. Negotiate that. If the car's $30,000 and you think your trade's worth 12 and they give you 10 and they say, okay, it's 20,000 and your car, then you can say, no, I'll do it if you make it 18,000 and my car. You can do it that way. It's not how much you're getting for your car, it's how much and your car.
Yeah.
Those are the two numbers that matter.
No, that's a really good point. That's
yeah,
really
well, point. I'm full of good points.
Did you during your career, did you have people that would come in and knew how to negotiate like that, knew how to really talk the language and do that, or
yes,
were you primarily? Yeah.
No, I mean, I thought part of my job was to be like a teacher and to educate people. I mean, most people just really have no idea what this all entails, and so it's a mystery to them. And I thought, well, if I could spend some time teaching them how it works and what makes it work and what all the factors are, then maybe it'll become easier for them to do it and understand it and accept it. So that was just my crazy way of thinking.
No, I'm sure it was appreciated by your customers then, and I know it's appreciated by our customers now.
That is correct.
Yeah, the best thing you can do is help people so they better understand something that's really complex and convoluted. I mean, you've taught me everything I know about this business, and I still pick up new things every time we talk. So,
by the way, that green thing behind you is that the replacement for the S90?
Shout out to Cannondale; they make a very nice bike.
Well, there you have it.
Did 54 miles to Mount Vernon a couple weeks ago. That was a good trek. Yeah. If you're in these quarantine times and you need something to do, getting a bike definitely is a hobby to pick up. All right. So I think we
just before we go,
yeah.
You look amazingly like Clay Matthews. Is he going to sign with the Cardinals this year or something?
I've got a source.
Yeah.
I'm going to drop a Woj bomb. Isn't that what it is? Wojnowski? No, he's basketball.
Yeah, but that's okay. You confuse
Adam Schefter.
An Adam Schefter bomb. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Our Cardinals, Ray and I are Dad and I, Rad and I, Pops and I, huge Arizona Cardinals fans. So if you're a Cardinals fan, not the baseball team. Baseball's okay, but football.
Yeah. Baseball's boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you unsubscribe because Ray thinks baseball is boring, you should unsubscribe because I think it's boring too. All right, Dad. Thanks for this. I think it's really helpful.
I hope. We're trying.
See ya.
Bye.